Get ready for a quick quest guide for the Family Crest Quest, in which the main rewards for completing are steel gauntlets, which can be imbued by various brothers to have different perks, either in reducing the chance of burning food while cooking, increasing smithing experience from smelting gold, or increasing damage done by bolt spells by 3. Additionally, you'll gain 1 quest point. While there are no quest requirements, you will need to have level 59 magic, as well as level 40 mining, smithing, and crafting. So some decent stat requirements here. Then while not required, having level 43 prayer is also highly helpful, seeing as you need to run past many high level enemies during this quest. Then in terms of items, you'll need a shrimp, a salmon, a tuna, a bass, a swordfish, the best pickaxe that you can use, 2 cut rubies, a ring mould, a necklace mould, 2 anti-poison potions, and finally the runes to cast all 4 blast spells. I suggest bringing extra runes firstly as a precaution in case you splash, but also to use when defeating a level 170 boss in this quest, which you can safe spot with magic. Then while not essential, I'd also recommend some magic armor and a staff or magic weapon. Side note, only bring what equipment you're okay with possibly losing, as you'll be entering low level wilderness with this gear. Additionally, having 1 stamina potion to help with the running around is rather helpful, as is having a prayer potion for sustaining prayer provided you're above 43 prayer and will be using protection prayers. Then there's a couple of teleports that will help during this quest. This includes 1 teleport to Catherby or Camelot, 1 teleport to Ardoon, 1 to Varrock, and 1 to the Lumberyard. I'd also bring along a charged Ring of Dueling, a charged Amulet of Glory, and a charged Skills Necklace for additional teleports using these pieces of jewelry. Finally, if you have any empty inventory spots, then I'd just put a few pieces of emergency food in them as a precaution. Now you can begin this quest in southeastern Varrock, a little ways east of Aubury's rune shop. To begin, you'll want to speak to Domintheus, and begin by saying, "Hi, I am a bold adventurer," before then asking, "So where is this crest?" And after a little more chatter, selecting yes to officially begin the quest. Following the chat, head to Catherby, either by using a Catherby teleport if you've completed Lunar Diplomacy, or by using a Camelot teleport and running southeast. Around or inside the building northeast of the bank will be a man wearing a chef's hat named Caleb. Talk to Caleb and begin the chat by asking, "Are you Caleb Fitzharmon?" Before then asking, "So can I have your bit?" And then after some more chatter say, "Okay, I will get those." Now talk to Caleb again and you'll hand over some fish and he'll hand over part of the crest. Then ask, what happened to the rest of it? And continue through the chat. Next, you'll want to use your Ring of Dueling to teleport to Emmy's Arena before running west to the gem trader nearby the Gnome Glider. Talk to the gem trader and then say, "I'm in search of a man named Avan Fitzharmon," before continuing through the dialogue. After this, run north to the Scorpion mining pit and around its entrance look for a man with a yellow cape. Once spotted, talk to this man and say, "I'm looking for a man named Avan Fitzharmon," and continue through the chat. Once the chat's finished, use your skills necklace to teleport to the mining guild and then run northwest and then further west to find a dwarf named Boot who's southwest of the general store, making use of the agility shortcut if you have at least 42 agility. Talk to Boot and say, "Hello, I'm in search of a very high quality gold," and continue through the chat. Following this, teleport to Ardoon and then run east out of the city before going south to the dungeon sign. Enter into the dungeon and now we have to pull levers in order to open the eastern room with the gold ore. Start by running northeast and then pulling the lever on the wall outside of the northern room. Then run south and enter into the southern room through the eastern door, before pulling the lever on the eastern wall, and then using the western door you'll want to exit the room. Now return back to the northern area of the dungeon and pull the lever on the wall outside of the northern room again, before going into the room and pulling the lever on the northern wall, and then exiting the room and pulling the lever just outside of the room once again. After all of this is done, head back south to the southern room and using the western door enter into it. Then once again pull the lever in the room and afterwards afterwards exit the room via the eastern door. With all of that sorted, you'll now be able to go through the eastern door in the dungeon that hosts the gold ore that you need to mine. If you have access to protect from melee, then I'd highly suggest using this to stop the aggressive hellhounds from damaging you. After you've mined 2 gold ore here, then use your Amulet of Glory to teleport to Edgeville and run east to the furnace. Use one of your perfect gold ores on the furnace to create a perfect gold bar, and then use your perfect gold bar on the furnace and select to make 1 ruby ring. Then use your second perfect gold ore on the furnace to make a second perfect gold bar, before using this gold bar on the furnace and choosing to make a ruby necklace. Be really careful not to make 2 rings or 2 necklaces. Now use your Ring of Jeweling to teleport to Emmy's arena and then run northwest back to the man who's now called Avan in the Scorpion Mine. Talk to Avan and spacebar through the chat, which will see you obtain the second Family Crest part. Next up, use your Lumberyard teleport to teleport to the Lumberyard before running northwest into the pub and heading upstairs. Once upstairs, go a little northwest and speak to Johnathon and go through the chat. Following this, use one of your Antipoison Potions on Johnathon to cure him and go through the chat to learn that he's lost the 3rd piece of the crest. Next, teleport to Edgeville and get ready for a boss fight, which does involve entering up to level 5 of the wilderness. Bank if you want to in order to grab a bit more food, and then run south to the dungeon sign before going down into the Varrock sewers. Start by running north for a little while before then going through a gate and heading east, and then you'll soon notice another gate to your north. You'll need to go through this and run northwest for a little while, going through another gate along the way, before then going south once you reach the Black Demons. Pop on Protect from melee as you run through, and again just be aware that you'll be entering up to level 5 of the wilderness to reach the boss Chronozon. After reaching the boss, run south and stand between the Earth Obelisk and the Stalagmite. If a poison spider locks onto you, then use your anti-poison to clear any poison and defeat the spider. And then turn your attention to Chronozon, who you can safe spot from this location. To defeat Chronozon, you need to successfully damage it with a wind, a water, an earth, and a fire blast spell. This means hitting at least 1 with each of the spells and not splashing. Once you've landed a hit with each blast spell, then you can just use your spell of choice to finish off Chronozon. Considering the safe spot, this is very easy. Once defeated, Chronozon will drop the 3rd crest part. Pick this up and then teleport to Varrock. After arriving in Varrock, use your crest parts on each other to form a completed family crest, and then run southeast to Dominthius east of Aubrey's rune shop where you first started the quest. Talk to him, and after going through the chat, bam! Quest complete. You'll be awarded steel gauntlets, which can be imbued by the various brothers to have different perks, either in reducing the chance of burning food while cooking, increasing smithing XP from smelting gold, or increasing damage done by bolt spells by 3. Additionally, you'll gain 1 quest point. Thanks so much for watching. Catch you in the next quest.